What's up, guys? Good morning. It's your girl T, and this is gonna be one of the more boring not vlogs because I'm not going to San Francisco or anything today or coloring my hair or anything like that. But I did just kind of want to catch you guys up on a few things. You know, my real hardcore Nat fam ride or die sisters and brothers. I just wanted to catch you guys up, or at least catch my real ones up, the ones who actually are here for the not vlogs, on just a few things going on right now. So I've just kind of spent the morning cleaning my kitchen and stuff. I'm taking it one room at a time because, you know, when the whole job is up to you and this one is no help whatsoever, it can be a bit daunting. Notice how she moved out of frame, which is standard fare. Any of you guys who follow me on IG already know that I am currently doing Whole30. Got my book right here, actually. As of me filming this not vlog, I'm only on day 2, but I'm actually pretty excited and not really too worried about this. This isn't, I don't think it's gonna be that hard for me because that is more or less how I eat and have eaten since 5-6 years ago. I started eating paleo-ish. It's a bit more strict in certain ways because typically, even when I was eating paleo-ish, I would let myself have like beans or oats and stuff like that, or even peanut butter, and all of those are verboten on Whole30. But I don't really mind that too much. It's only a month, and the main thing that I think is going to be a bit challenging for me is giving up booze because I love to go out with my friends, have some cocktails and dance. Like that is a big part of my life pretty much every weekend. So yeah, I do like my turning up socially, and it may be a bit of an adjustment going back to having extremely low carbs because, as some of you will recall, whilst I was doing cut, or actually even shortly before I started doing cut, I had started reincorporating more of your traditional carbs into my diet. So things like a little bit of bread, occasional rice, stuff like that. Not to mention having treats, you know, once or maybe even a couple times a week, depending. Which means realistically, this Whole30 is just going to be no treats whatsoever for the duration because you really are meant to, it's an elimination diet, meaning you're eliminating things that are known to trigger inflammation. And that's why I'm doing it right now. It's basically because I've got all of my old injuries active at the same time right now. I've got back pain, I've got knee pain, I've got foot pain, and I've got hip pain. So those are all of the injuries that have come and gone over the years, but they've never all been here at the same time. And I don't really know exactly what caused them all to flare up at the same time, other than one injury, the knee specifically, kind of causing me to overcompensate perhaps in the gym, and then that overcompensation triggering other injuries to resurface. Nonetheless, I've been taking it very, very easy at the gym lately and focusing more on workouts that promote stability and are basically help to strengthen the areas that are weak and not doing their job, and instead of recruiting other muscles to do jobs they aren't supposed to do, I'm trying to correct any postural imbalances and muscle imbalances. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. You guys might be able to see a little spoiler alert for an upcoming video here. I picked up that Revlon blow dryer brush thing. I've actually had this for several months now. It was on clearance at my local Target, I want to say back in like January, and I just have not felt it upon my spirit to blow dry my hair since picking it up. But I actually want to compare it to a different straightening brush. So I think the next time I have my wash day and stretch my hair, I'm going to film that video. So that's just a little teaser. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, because the Whole30 protocol is really meant to help target and reduce inflammation, that's why I'm doing it. Any weight loss, or I should say fat loss, that comes will be welcomed, but that is not why I'm doing it. I really feel like perhaps I've gotten a little bit too lax with letting myself have things that I know might not agree so well with me. While the carbs did improve my energy levels, I don't know that they are the best for me because I've definitely been more bloated just from water retention from the carbs, and not to mention all of my aches and pains. And because I am in too much pain to embark on any new fitness programs the next She Tried It is on hold for now, and instead this is actually going to be the next She Tried It. I'm going to do a She Tried It the Whole30, because the whole point of She Tried It was to test out various fitness and nutrition programs, but I am extremely leery of nutrition programs after my experience with that Gauge Girl 6-week shred piece of shit. So I'll be happy to review something that basically aligns with what I know works pretty well for me in terms of me feeling my best. And it'll be interesting to see if it really does help me to start healing my aches and pains, as well as getting rid of some of this bloatation in my abs. Because I mean, I don't feel like I look bad. I'm actually pretty pleased with my size, and you know, the last 10-15 pounds, it'll come off if it ever wants to come off. I'm not really trying to kill myself to do it, because I feel pretty good about myself and pretty good about how I look in my clothing. But there is an undeniable layer of bloat on top of my abs that isn't typically there when I am eating this way and, you know, living a relatively active life. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that changes over the course of this month. But day one was pretty easy. I'm still doing my intermittent fasting. So I'll be eating around 4, and today it's gonna be chicken cacciatore with broccoli rice, not cauliflower. If you don't know why I am so violently against cauliflower rice, I'm not gonna get into it right now. It's gonna make my blood boil. In any event, I'm probably just gonna do a little bit more tidying on the Project Clean apartment before I head to the gym in a little bit. And I think I will bring you guys just to show you how lame my workouts are right now, because it's really just a lot of body weight, stabilization kind of stuff like I was saying. But I wanted to show you guys what I do when I can't work out properly and I'm actually trying to basically rehabilitate myself. I have gone to the chiropractor. I broke down and did that, but I have had no relief of pain whatsoever. In fact, the hip pain surfaced after my first visit with him. I don't blame the chiropractor for that, but it is interesting that, you know, you go to the doctor and then a couple days later things get worse. So I went to him again last Wednesday. Today is Tuesday, and he wants me to get an MRI of my knee, and I am really at a crossroads here because my income is not great right now because I'm freelancing, as many of you guys know, aka unemployed. So if I don't have a gig, I don't have income, and it's been very slow. I think because a lot of people are on vacation for the summer, but my work slowed down a lot. I've been praying for more opportunities, and I'm hoping that they start to trickle in, but it's been a little bit lean lately. So the last thing I need is to have to shell out money for an MRI, which is not covered by my insurance because my insurance sucks, after I'm already in the hole on visits to a chiropractor that have not helped my pain at all. So I'm trying not to stress about that, and I'm hoping to just make the right decision on what I should do there. On the plus side, the fact that I will be cooking all of my meals for the next month will definitely help me save some money too, because before getting on this Whole30 protocol yesterday, I've definitely been buying way too many of my meals out, you know, too much takeout and things like that, which is completely unnecessary. So it's good to be getting back in the kitchen and to also have new inspiration for new things to make just from the recipes in here, which is nice. Anyway, that is that. I'm gonna go ahead and do a bit more cleaning, and then I'm gonna head to the gym, and I will see you guys there. the gym, and it was perfect because like the moment I walked in the door, it was like 4 or 5 minutes after my eating window had opened, so I could eat right away. So I'm very excited about that. I'm just heating up some leftovers from yesterday, and I'm actually thinking I'm gonna make this not vlog a 2-dayer because I don't need to cook today, so there really isn't anything to show you, but I'm thinking tomorrow I'll do a what I eat in a day type of situation and show you the types of meals I'm cooking while I'm on Whole30, which, to be honest, is probably going to be almost identical to what I eat in every other what I eat in a day video. The dishes will be different, but the types of foods will be the same. Fish, vegetables, that type of thing. But you know, I got this little mini challenge going to help keep me accountable. In any event, you guys got to see the ain't shit workouts that I'm doing these days. I mean, really, I'm just focusing on rehabilitation, so I'm not able to do that much. So you guys saw me doing a lot of just kind of stretching and mobility, adjusting my pelvis. I'm doing a lot of work on my pelvic tilt because I have an anterior pelvic tilt, not just naturally / genetically, but from having a job where I'm usually seated all day, and that's something that can happen to a lot of people. And I think that that's been a major culprit in a lot of the injuries flaring up that I've had. So I'm doing a lot of postural therapy to try to correct my pelvic tilt, as well as just addressing the areas that are actually in pain, like my knee with my IT band and stuff like that. And then at the end, you guys saw I did a little bit of Metcon. I basically took a CrossFit WOD and adjusted it to what I can do right now. The workout is called Annie, and that is 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 reps of double unders followed by sit-ups. Because I know sit-ups would probably aggravate my low back, which is in pain right now, I decided to swap those out and do hip thrusts, or I'm sorry, glute bridges instead, weighted glute bridges. The glute bridges were unweighted, as you guys already saw in the warm-up portion of my workout, but I used, I believe, a 40-pound dumbbell to do some weighted ones, and it got me a nice little burn. I was feeling my glutes. And then I've been topping off my workouts with just 20 minutes of steady state at the end. I've been doing the bike every time so far because I don't want to run, because I feel like that would be a lot of impact, especially following doing 150 double unders. And the rower would hurt my knee because I can't flex my knee comfortably all the way. So that rules out the 2 pieces of cardio equipment available at my gym other than the bike. So I've been doing the bike, and there are a few things that I hate more than steady state cardio, but I've just been doing it to try to really focus on the mind-body connection and maintain good form when I'm doing it, so that maybe more of those locomotive movements will be done more correctly and will translate into better form on other movements. It's a long story, but it makes sense in my head. Anyway, back home now with the doggo. She's sitting here sulking on the floor because I'm talking to you guys and not to her. So I'm going to eat and probably watch a little YouTube while my body continues to cool down. Good morning, guys. It is the next day. I'm actually just getting back from Trader Joe's because I need to get a few things for what I'm going to be eating today. I had planned out my meals for the next several days, just on a little calendar, like a little October 2018 calendar that I printed out, because I don't know, I was trying to keep track of the recipes I wanted to try in Whole30, but then my friend sent me a link to this Instagram page called Fit Slow Cooker Queen, and this is what she posted yesterday on there. I don't know if you can see it too well, but it's basically like yam stuffed with beef, like carne asada style beef, and it looked so good. I was just like, that's what I'm having tomorrow. So I had to go to Trader Joe's in the morning. Typically I would just go like after the gym to get my ingredients, but since this is a slow cooker recipe, I need to get it started now so it'll actually be ready for me to eat by the time my feeding window opens. So it's carne asada stuffed sweet potatoes, and the recipe is pretty simple, which tends to be the case when you're eating this way, when you're eating paleo or Whole30 or whatever. Simple ingredients, but quality ingredients is always great, and everything, as long as the recipe is sound, tends to be delicious. So I can't wait to make this. So I had to pick up some skirt steak, or actually flank steak is what I got. I had to get an orange for the sauce, some peppers because I was out. I grabbed an avocado because the ones that I have here aren't ripe yet, and I needed to get one that would be ripe enough for me to eat today, and a couple other things. So I am going to start my oil pulling because I haven't done that yet. I ran out of the house with a gross mouth because I wanted to just get to the grocery store ASAP and get my slow cooker going. So I'm going to do my oil pulling now while I get this recipe started. But one key difference I'm going to do is this recipe does not call for searing the steak before you add it to the slow cooker. I always sear my meats before I add them to a slow cooker because it'll make them taste better. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll probably just follow the recipe more or less as written. You guys, I had to collect myself. So the crock pot is going, you guys saw everything up to that point, but the recipe called for, you know, 1 pepper. So I decided to use half of each of these just for more color, and it was one of those packs of peppers where you get 3. So I still had the orange one. I was just like, oh, let me plan for future tea. Let me go ahead and slice or chop the rest of these peppers up so I have mise en place for later meals. Well, I sliced into the 3rd pepper, the orange one, and I saw all this dark stuff inside. I was just like, oh, is this already starting to go off? Is it molding? And then I realized that there was a whole ass live like caterpillar or something inside. I mean, this guy was at least 1.5 inches long, fully inside the pepper. Like, he's lucky I didn't slice through him, but I'm traumatized. I managed to keep it together enough to just close the pepper back and march right out to the dumpster and just threw the whole thing in there, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to slice into a bell pepper again without fear. I thought about taking a photo or video of it, but it is so revolting. I don't even want to do that to you guys. It's already in the dumpster. We're gonna try to move on. Holy shit, that was insane. In any event, I guess I'll go ahead and slice up these 2 peppers that appear to be safe. Oh my god, I eat so many peppers too. I mean, if you guys have watched my recent What I Eat in a Day videos, these are a staple food for me, and I'm never going to be able to look at peppers the same. Ugh, god. Gross. So gross. Got about 2.5 hours left on the flank steak in the crock pot, so that is looking good and smelling good. I had just about recovered from the devastation of finding that live bug in that pepper earlier today, and then picking up the camera reminded me that that was the last thing I talked to you guys about. We need to move on. I picked up these little yams from Trader Joe's. They come in a bag like this, but I like these because I feel like these are going to make nice little serving sizes rather than getting the normal giant yams that you see. One thing I should mention before I forget, because there's always someone who asks, if you're curious about like the juicer I use to juice the orange or anything like that, pretty much all of my kitchenware and tools are from Amazon, almost all of them. So I'll link everything in the description box that I use, like my skillet and all that stuff, just because everything's cheaper online. The only reason I didn't bother using my little manual juicer like what I used on the limes, the reason I didn't use that on the orange was I just get more juice if I use my actual citrus juicer, at least with oranges. So I just felt like it was worth it to bust it out for that, and it's not a big deal to clean it. So that's why I did that. I mean, if you look into the rind of the orange afterward, there's like nothing left in there. So that's the reason I decided to actually go through the hassle of using my juicer. In about an hour and a half, I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the oven to bake. I've taken 3 out and just rinsed them off. I still have to stab them a couple times before I pop them in the oven so that they don't burst. The recipe calls for putting them in the crock pot, but that doesn't make much sense to me because unless you have 2 crock pots, you would have to either completely finish this and then spend another 2 hours cooking the potatoes in your crock pot, or put these in the crock pot on top of the meat, which also doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to bake these and ignore that aspect of the recipe. And then I'm also going to make some guacamole, and I've got cilantro and onion for that, which is good. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this meal. I was going to go to the gym today, but I've gone the last 2 days in a row, and with all these injuries, I'm thinking rest. So I think for this week, I'm gonna say Monday, Tuesday, which have already passed. Wednesday, I'm gonna rest, which is today. I'll go again Thursday, Friday, and possibly Saturday. But I think until I feel 100% again, I should not be in the 5 to 6 day range. I should be more in the 4 to 5, if not 3 to 5 days per week range for going to the gym. But that is it. Other than that, I've just been working away. I finished editing a not vlog, the one where I meet Natasha Ocean, which was really a cool day. So if you guys haven't seen that one, I'll link it right here. But that is just about done exporting, so I'll be able to begin the upload once I stop doing this, which is now. I'm gonna in my kitchen again. Another transition coming right back to me in my kitchen again. But this is what happens with what I eat in a day, especially where I'm trying to show you guys me actually making the things I'm going to consume. The crock pot is still crock pot in a way. Ooh, it's got about an hour left though, so I need to put these taters in the oven, but my eating window is about to open and I want something immediately. So I'm gonna make a smoothie. I'm gonna do my collagen peptides as protein. I don't feel the need to have any kombucha to break my fast first because it's mostly gonna be like banana, coconut water, almond milk, and then just the collagen. So that's easy enough for my body to digest that I think it'll be perfectly fine to break my fast and wake up them enzymes, girl. So let me preheat my oven. Let's move this out of the way. Let's do, I don't even remember the last time I baked a potato, but I think like 400 is probably good. Let's get that preheating and let's make this smoothie. This has been so delicious. It's honestly like having a treat. The frozen bananas are so sweet. You feel like you're almost drinking something that's completely off limits. Then the cinnamon makes it so good. Obviously, I prefer PB to almond butter, but peanut butter is not Whole30 friendly. I've talked about how I kind of wanted to get off of peanut butter in recent Not vlogs because there's mold issues on the crops and things, but I have not minded swapping out my PB for almond butter the last couple of days with this, so hopefully this will at least help me reduce how much peanut butter I tend to eat when I'm not doing Whole30. My taters all prepped. I got my multitasking on, as you guys saw when the smoothie was blending. So all I need to do now is give the oven a few more minutes to heat up to get to the correct temperature. Pop these in there for probably like, they're pretty small, so I feel like these will probably be done in 45 to 50 minutes. Then again, like I said, it's been a very long time since I baked a potato, and I honestly do not remember what the right temperature is, how long it's supposed to do. I just remember it being fairly high and about an hour. So I will be back when I am actually making this dish, and we'll see if I can get it to look even a fraction as pretty as the original post was on that Instagram account that I showed you guys at the beginning. I just realized I forgot to put my collagen peptides in. Like a damn fool. I was so caught up with filming, I didn't put in the most important ingredient. Here I am talking about how I'm a gangster at multitasking. I didn't even put in the most important thing. So I'm just gonna add it now. What a fucking idiot I am. This is the problem with trying to film things. You end up forgetting critical steps you would never have forgotten otherwise. But here we go. I've just added in my collagen peptides. You can see them sitting there on top. I did 30 grams. So let's cut that off, and I'm just gonna stir these in. I can't believe I did that. That's so ridiculous. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and stir this and finish my little smoothie here, and I will come back when I'm probably pulling the taters out of the oven and finishing up the last little things I need to do with the beef, like either cutting it or shredding it or whatever I decide to do. I'll see y'all then. That was a winner. I will definitely be making that dish again and enjoying the leftovers. Hey! Yeah, it was very, very tasty. Right now, I'm just sitting here with the doggo digesting and drinking some sparkling water with some lemon. I love a bit of seltzer, one of life's simple pleasures. RayRay is licking as usual. She is always licking. I recommend that recipe highly. Once again, I will have it linked in the description box, or at least the Instagram account, but I think you can link specific posts with just a URL, so I will do that if I can. And as far as what else I'm going to eat today, I mean, it's still relatively early. I don't even think it's 6 o'clock yet. So if I get hungry again, I may just have more of this, or I have some leftover chicken cacciatore. I have 1 drumstick left of that, as well as some broccoli rice that I told you guys about yesterday, I believe. So if I start feeling peckish again before my eating window closes, I will have some version of leftovers. But that should give you guys a pretty good idea of what I eat in a day whilst I'm doing Whole30 as well as intermittent fasting. I do still feel quite hungry during the earlier portion of the day when I'm fasting, and I did notice feeling very tired today. I don't know if that is because of where I am in my menstrual cycle and or if it's because of the reduction in carbs in my diet, because again, with Whole30, I'm not having any carbs. I'm having vegetables and things like that. And obviously the yams I had today, but I'm not having rice or pasta or bread. And granted, I wasn't eating those things that much before, but I did notice an uptick in my energy when I started playing around with reincorporating them into my diet. But nonetheless, the aim of this is reducing my inflammation. So I'm going to stick it out. It actually isn't hard for me doing this. I mean, again, it's only the first week, but I'm so used to eating this way anyway. And when you got good ass recipes like this one to make and to eat, it makes it a lot easier. So that is it for now. I will either come back to show you guys if I have anything else to eat today, or look at this dog. Or I will just come back to actually say goodbye for this time. Unfortunately, the camera battery died on me at the park and I didn't have my spare with me, but we're just getting back. Obviously, RayRay is eating her dinner, as you might hear some crunching and munching in the background. Her food is extra yummy today. Yummy. Here's a quick sidebar. You'll know I am not about cutesy shit like the word yummy, but something happened when I got this dog, and I got this very like shrill voice that I use when I talk to her sometimes, and I use words like yummy now for her. Like I'll ask her if her food was yummy. I need to be executed. But anyway, I made her food extra tasty because I had some chicken broth left over from the food I cooked a couple days ago on my meal plan, or not meal plan, but on this Whole30. And whenever I have chicken broth left over that I don't need to use right away, I'll just take like a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons, and put it in RayRay's food in place of the coconut oil that I usually put in. And she just thinks it's so good. She always gobbles down her food with gusto, even more than usual, when she gets that broth. I have to be careful of the ingredients in broth because there's certain ingredients like onions and things that are bad for dogs, but the one that I've been buying lately has been just fine, and she loves it, and she's happily munching away right now. So I actually am already feeling a bit peckish again. That's one thing that I always forget when I deviate from eating paleo-ish for a while and then I go back to it, is that I'm hungry kind of all the time. My body is just able to incinerate food when it's super clean like this, where it's very simple ingredients and quality ingredients. And I just don't stay full for very long. So I always feel hungry, which has been a bit of a bigger challenge than normal since I do have restricted times that I eat and when I don't. So that's going to be something that I have to experiment with throughout these 30 days, or at this point, like 27. All right, we're doing it. We're going streaking. No, what I'm actually doing is I'm going to have more food. I'm going to go with the chicken cacciatore and broccoli rice, simply because I made that on Monday. It is now Wednesday, so I feel like I may as well get that out of here because the other leftovers are fresher leftovers, so I'd rather carry those through to another day. Does that make sense? So I think I've mentioned, perhaps in my great gadgets for meal prep, or tools and gadgets to make meal prep easy, something like that. I think in that video I mentioned that I'm not a huge fan of microwaving. If I'm in an office environment and I have no choice, I'll microwave my food. But if I'm at home or pretty much anywhere that has an oven or a toaster oven, I never do. I'm kind of a paranoid person, as some of you guys know by now, and I just don't trust microwaves for being all that safe for us. There go my phone. So I'm just gonna heat this up in my toaster oven. What I've done is I've transferred the food into this little oven-safe glassware portable container. As you can see, I had quite a bit of the rice left, and then just one drumstick of the chicken cacciatore, which I covered in sauce because the sauce tastes super delicious on that broccoli rice. I really like that combination, so I might even add a little bit more. So I'm just gonna cover that with foil and pop that in my toast oven for like 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna eat it. And that should pretty much catch you guys up. After that round of chicken and broccoli rice, I am feeling quite full, so I'm glad I had that because I hate going to bed hungry. I'm all greased up because I just did my nighttime skincare, so I just have to floss and brush and do all that and take little Miss Ray here for one more WALK, and then we will be in for the night. So at this point, let me see if I can get her over here. RayRay. At this point, we will say good night and goodbye to you guys, or good day, depending on what time you may be watching this. While she continues to lick my hand, I will just say thank you guys for spending another day with T and Ray. I hope that seeing what I eat when I'm doing Whole30 and intermittent fasting was helpful to someone. And we will see you guys in the next Not vlog. Bye bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm gonna tell you that now.